And I'm going to flip the camera around here in just a second so that you can see some of these pre-writing trays that I've set up for you tonight, so you can see what they are. In the meantime, let me know in the comments below, in addition to where in the world you're watching from, how do you practice pre-writing skills in your classroom? So I thought this would be a really great topic. I know that a lot of you over in our free Facebook group, Preschool Teachers Are Superheroes, a lot of folks over there have been talking about struggles they're having with certain students because it's getting later in the school year here, and we're starting to notice some students having some issues with fine motor skills and other things like that. And so these pre-writing skills I'm going to talk about tonight are going to help your students quite a bit, because they're not just about writing. That's the thing that I like about pre-writing skills, is they're not just about writing. They're about the touch to brain connection, the connection that's made in the brain. So as children are making these strokes, and then as they begin to write letters and eventually their names and words and all that, these strokes are going to help solidify that information and help put it in their long-term memory, which is going to overall help the children learn. Okay, so hey, DeToya's in the house. Welcome, everybody. All right, I'm going to turn the camera around, and then you can see some of the pre-writing cards in action. So you're going to look at my ceiling fan for just a second while I flip the camera around, okay? Everyone always says your ceiling fan is so beautiful. Okay, so I have to exit out of this and then flip the camera. Okay, let's see if we got it. Okay, so let me get this out of the way, and let me get this out of the way. And let's see what we got here. Okay, so I think that looks sideways again. Is that sideways to y'all? That's because my phone, I'm using Tom's phone tonight, and let's try this. Does that look any better? I'm using Tom's phone, and I had everything set up. Whoops, I got my shirt in the, there. How does that look a little better for y'all? Okay, so first things first, I have some of these pre-writing cards here. Good, I'm glad. I have some of these pre-writing cards here. So I created a packet of these pre-writing cards. So basically it's pre-writing cards for the whole year, and I have all of the popular the most popular or common themes included. So we have, obviously these are the shamrocks, or the St. Patrick's Day. Then we've got gingerbread man there, and here we've got a zoo theme, or a monkey, if you will, if you want to do jungle, if you prefer. And then, of course, these are stuck together now. Okay, there's another one back there that's stuck. Oh, this is Halloween. I also have just a regular, a spider, and some other things that are non-holiday if you're not allowed to use the holidays. So anyway, here's the Halloween card. And over here, we have the Earth Day card. Now, these aren't just single cards. There's several in each of the different themes, and there's the this is just the style that all the cards will look like. This is the winter one. So we have leaves, fire engines, spiders, jack-o'-lanterns, tractors to go with the farm theme, gingerbread man, snowflake, race car for a transportation theme, construction, Valentine, shamrocks, Earth Day, flowers, Easter eggs, ladybugs, monkeys, fish, dinosaurs, a sunshine for the summer, and a tent if you do a camping theme. So that's what we have there. And let me tell you a little bit about pre-writing skills. So pre-writing skills, they're actually the skills. I'm going to try and be the kid here, but I'm doing it sideways because I had everything set up for horizontal Facebook. Pre-writing skills are the fundamental skills that your kids need to develop before They can learn how to write letters, words, or their names. And these skills are going to include the child's ability to hold a pencil in their hand to draw, write, copy, or color. Okay? And these include the pre-writing strokes. Okay? So children, the thing about pre-writing strokes, oh, and these are, I forgot to mention, this is a TV dinner tray. This black one is a TV dinner tray. This black one here is also a TV dinner tray. And then this wooden one is from a set of lacing cards at the Target dollar spot. It had birthday lacing cards in there, okay? So, yeah, that's what those are. TV dinner tray, TV dinner tray. This thing had lacing cards from the dollar spot in it. This one is wood. These are plastic, but we're recycling these. The sand, Tom is going to drop a link for you to my Amazon store. And in the Amazon store, I have a link to the sand if you want to see what it looks like, if you want to try and find it at your craft store, if you want to get it online, or if you want to go to Dollar Tree, they had green craft sand, or yeah, it was in the floral section, in the craft section. They had green sand there recently. I didn't see it in any other colors there. But anyway, Tom will drop a link to that. So I bought this craft sand, the orange and the blue. I bought that on Amazon at the link that Tom's going to give you. It came in all the rainbow colors. And let me show you what the bag looks like so that you'll know. So it came in this really cool package. There's one of these rectangular packages for each color of the rainbow. And it looks like very little, right? It looks like a very small amount of sand, but I'm not kidding. I used like this much, just this little corner up here to fill the entire tray. So I would say there's probably enough for maybe 5 or 6 trays in each colored bag. So it comes in a pack of all the rainbow colors. Okay, so there's plenty in here because these trays are not big. Your kids aren't huge, they're little, right? So that's how that comes. Now you could probably find this at your local craft store too. So if you don't know where to look, I would try, for the green, try Dollar Tree. And for all the other rainbow colors, you can go to your craft store, or you can go to that Amazon link. And it was an add-on, so if you're a Prime member, you get free shipping if you order $20 worth of stuff, which who doesn't every day, right? So that way you don't have to pay shipping because it is heavy. So here's the deal. Kids learn how to make these pre-writing strokes in a developmental sequence, okay? So just a straight up and down line like this, right? That's usually age 2, they'll start to imitate that line. And then at age 3, they're going to be able to copy or master that line, okay? So what we do here is we take the cards, and there's a set. For each one of these themes, there's a set of cards. And you can take the cards and you can place them in the tray at the top like this. You can put them on a ring if you want. And then the kids are going to make the line in the sand using the index finger of their dominant hand if they have a dominant hand. Okay, not all kids that are age 3 have a dominant hand yet, but we're doing that with the index finger of their dominant hand if they have one to create that touch to brain connection, right? And eventually that's going to help with writing because we're doing that in their dominant hand with their index finger, which is going to help control the motion of the pencil, right? And then they just turn the page or turn the card. Now this one's from a different theme. They shake the tray up just a little bit, and now they make whatever card is next, okay? But these go in a developmental sequence. So that's the vertical line was age 2 to 3, and then the horizontal line is 2.5 to imitate and 3 to copy and master. So there's a whole list in this packet of all the different pre-writing strokes and the ages at which they master them. And you might be shocked to find out that the age for mastering the triangle shape is actually age 5. I know, right? The little symbols at the top, the little symbol at the top, which in this case, this is the snowflake set, that tells the child where to start. Because we all know, if you have little kids, we all know that they all want to start down and go up. And that causes muscle fatigue in kids. When they're writing and they're trying to go from the bottom to the top, that causes muscle fatigue. And that causes them to be turned off to writing and to go slower on the assessments eventually that they'll have to do when they are using their pencil to write. So these pencil strokes that we're talking about here are crucial, right, for kids to be able to write effectively, and in order to have muscle strength so that they can write things that we ask them to write later in life, like their names, words, and things like that. So I have a whole list here of all the different skills that kids are using when they are making these pre-writing lines. So here, there's the little earth. Goes like that. So they have a whole set of cards. This particular box here is really cool because it has this little space to hold up the cards. That makes it a little extra cool, right? But it totally works in these as well, and you can even set them off to the side if you have to. But here, again, I'm trying to write backwards. The thing about the sand, I have too much in this tray, I can tell right now. You only need a teeny tiny bit of sand to cover the bottom of the tray. This one has too much. This one has the perfect amount. So I would probably dump a little of this back into the bag, because if they have to, when they're making shapes and they can't quite get them to, without doing a lot, you know, that means there's just a little too much. And the good thing is that you're probably going to be doing this in a small group, so you have just a little bit in each tray. Ola BC is here. Hello. Anne Marie is here. She just bought red sand on Amazon. Good for you. Cindy's in the house. Hey, Cindy. Carrie's in the house. Awesome. Anne Marie says, back to Dollar Tree for colored sand. Make sure you report back, Anne Marie, and tell us if they have any new colors. All I saw was green, but I'm hoping that they will have other colors. And I also didn't find it in every Dollar Tree. I only found it in my flagship Dollar Tree. I know. Isn't it sad that I know that there's a flagship Dollar Tree? All right. Let me get back to the rest of the questions here. All right. Hey, Carmen from Spotsville is in the house. Okay. So we have all of these different cards in the pre-writing kit, the pre-writing skills packet. And so there is a set of cards for each of these themes. There's 20 different themes. I'm just showing you one card from each of these samples here, but it has all of the pre-writing strokes. So you have the, and it has the ages in which children master them. You get the vertical lines, the horizontal lines, the circle, the cross, the square, left and right diagonal lines like this, the X and the triangle, and what ages those should be mastered by children, typically developing. Now, if you work with special needs, children with special needs, then they're going to have a different developmental sequence. So, yeah, isn't that awesome? Here's some of the rest of the sand and some of the other so the pack of sand that I got, it had brown, and I'm going to use that for the gingerbread man, right? I forget where he went. So that will go with the gingerbread man theme. There's the orange. Here's the yellow and the red. And like I said, each of these little rectangular packets here is enough for about 5 to 6 of these little writing trays, maybe more if they're this small, because I put the same amount of sand in all 3 of these, but you can tell this one is the smallest, so that's why there's too much sand in there. I didn't have my thinking cap on. There's the blue sand. This one's been open, so I stuck it in a Ziploc bag. It all comes from Amazon. Oh, I have dinosaur cards too. And so I just have a shoebox here, And inside the shoebox, I put, let me put all this in here. I put all the cards into Ziploc bags. So each Ziploc baggie there has a set, a complete set of that particular theme's pre-writing cards. So for example, here's the dinosaurs and the monkeys and the gingerbread men and so forth. So I have a Ziploc for each of the different themes. And then I also have the sand. And I have, it doesn't have purple, but so everything fits right in one shoebox from the Dollar Tree, right? So super quick and easy. Not a lot of prep. Somebody said, oh, yes, good. Jennifer said, she reminded me of something I wanted to say. You don't have to use colored sand. Absolutely not. So you can totally use salt, cornmeal, or sugar. Now, there's problems with salt and there's problems with sugar, but cornmeal, I feel like is probably the best of those three. Salt, of course, if they have any open cuts on their finger, that will hurt. Sugar is sweet, can attract rodents and insects. So, you know, you decide what works best for you and your kids. Cornmeal is awesome. So you can get cornmeal at the grocery store and use that if you're allowed to use food. If you're not, then use the sand. And it doesn't have to be colored sand. Oh, I know. And I was talking with somebody also. I used to do this in Girl Scouts all the time. Did you know that if you take like a baggie full of salt and then a piece of chalk and you rub it all together and squish it in the bag, that the chalk will color the salt, and then you will have essentially colored sand or colored salt. So you can do, hey, Marsha's in the house. Are you on spring break, Marsha? Jill says you could add cinnamon to the brown for gingerbread as long as nobody's allergic. Absolutely. Yes, scent would be great. That's awesome. Yes, I like the coffee grounds idea, Jennifer, too. So yeah, you can try out all different kinds of things in your pre-writing sensory trays. So I'm going to flip it around here because I've had enough of my camera being sideways tonight. Okay. And then I'm going to flip it around this way. Okay, so here we are. Vertical. So I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight, and you can find the pre-writing cards in my store at the link Tom has put for you in the comments below. And there are 20 different themes for you to choose from. So you have a whole year's worth of pre-writing cards for you to use. Somebody said last week, because I gave a sneak peek of this product, somebody last week said that would be great for morning work. Sure. You could put them in your writing center. They could be table time activities, whatever you want. But the most important thing is that children are practicing these pre-writing strokes and creating that touch to brain connection and cementing these pre-writing strokes into their long-term memory so that later when we ask them to write letters, words on their names, that they'll be familiar with these strokes. So that's what that's all about. All of the information about the ages at which children develop these pre-writing strokes, the developmental ages, and the explanation of the skills that they're learning when they're using these cards or that they're developing, that's all included in the packet as well. So it's like 100 and some pages, but that's because each set, I think, includes 8 cards, because there's 8 different strokes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's 8 different strokes. So each set contains 8 cards. And oh, I didn't print the full cards for you. So these are little ones to go in the little trays. But I also have half page. So there's 2 sizes. That's why the packet is so big. There's 2 sizes because there's one if you have bigger trays. And you use whichever one works best for you. Obviously, the little ones are going to take up less of your ink, right? Your instant ink. So you choose the ones that work best for you and your kids. Of course, you're going to laminate them. I don't, because when I go on Facebook Live, it glares into the screen, but I will laminate them when I use them with children. So go ahead and check those out if you haven't already, so you can get a whole year's worth of pre-writing cards for your classroom. If you know of anybody who might be interested in learning more about pre-writing skills and how children learn how to develop those pre-writing strokes that are necessary for writing names, words, and letters eventually, then go ahead and share this broadcast with them. I'm Vanessa Levin from Pre-K Pages, and you can check out the sand and the cards in the comments here. And I will be back again on Wednesday, 7 Central, 8 Eastern, with more goodness for you. Thanks a lot for watching, and have a great evening. Bye.